Any other guys have to pee before we get started? We promised to be much more dignified this year.
Good start.
By the way, just because you're in the audience doesn't mean you're immune from this process. You know, there's the pig people over here, naked, throwing potato salad at each other. Keogh's here again this year, I see. Tim Sullivan said the bus for Raleigh Hills leaves tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. How does it feel to sit next to Microdata, Pick? Oh, we're glad you're here, okay? Okay, last year we were criticized for references to sex, drugs, and things like that, so I'm sure that nobody's going to do that this year. So the first guy I'd like to introduce is a guy whose company name is Climax Computer Corporation. Bill, I do agree, it is a good name for a company in a marketplace where everybody is screwing everybody else. I'm actually surprised that Microdata didn't come up with a name first, but those of you that know Bill Thurman, that's who I'm talking about. He's also with IDBMA, this function that you're attending. Bill also has been known to take an occasional drink.
Never.
I understand he has a book of prepaid 502 tickets that he cares about. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bill Thurman.
We're only putting him on first because he won't last till the end.
Having worked for Dick, he knows that's true. I used to work for the guy, and it used to be terrible. You know, we used to get in there, and believe me, I could not last till the end because I could not drink as much beer or smoke as many of my little cigarettes as I do to keep up with the rest of the group. Virginia Slims, yes. Whatever's fun, you know. But this does remind me of an IBM convention that I used to attend back in the 50s. See all these people out here. And then it occurred to me that this is sort of like an IBM convention. Dick has certainly gotten to the point where he has given a little bit of credibility to IBM by having Denny Brown and George Ridgway now, licking and sucking, or whatever the words were last. But, you know, last year I went through a routine of talking about a glossary of pick people, pick terms, and pick your nose, pick your whatever. And this year I decided I'd rather not do that. You know, it'd take too long to go through a glossary because, fortunately for all of us, very fortunately for all of us, the pick world has expanded. We have gotten to the point where there are so many people who are interested, love the whole shot and whatever else. And the glossary is too long. I thought, as of tonight, I'll just go through the changes that we've gone through since January of 1982, which, yeah, changes a lot. Hey, my age, Pick, you're getting close to it too. Be careful, sweetheart. Well, you know, there have been several changes between the last conference and this. You know, as of tonight, as far as I know, and God only knows if this is true or not, there are no lawsuits. Either between Pick, Microdata and Pick.
We're working on it.
Are they being gorgeous? I love it. You know, these people have gotten together so well. It's beautiful. last night, I saw Pick in the microdata suite, and he had one of those little funny buttons on that says, winners pick microdata. Or ultimate or whatever else. I don't know who had all those little buttons, but in any event, microdata even admitted today that they are committed to the pick concept. I love that. And, Pick has been conceiving things for years, but I don't know what the Pick concept is. But nevertheless, we'll go on with that. But actually, we from IDBMA are exceptionally pleased. The microdata is here this year. Last year, their trucks got caught in the snow. They couldn't get up here. And of course, just prior to that whole thing, they had an exit of a whole bunch of executives from microdata. And fortunately for all of us this year, there's only been one. And believe me, that one is the guy that our friend Ted Savarese pushed into chairs in New York and all kinds of things. But nevertheless, that's sort of an in-joke. It's even a joke. The number of more booths and manufacturers attending is more than threefold what it was a year ago. And I'm very appreciative of that. It was interesting, a year ago, we had our friends from Altos here with one of their little boxes, whatever they are, whatever they were then a year ago.
Smaller this year.
Yeah, they've gotten them smaller now. It's what a lot of people like, smaller boxes. I'm not saying anything dirty, am I? And everybody says I do sound like Jack Benny, but well, but anyway. But the beautiful, Rochester, I love it. It's kind of fun that Altos arrived this year. Their equipment got up the hill. All their people got up the hill. This afternoon we were going to have a manufacturer's update with the executive vice president. Do you know what? He arrived 5 minutes late. And, it's amazing. We can get an implementation done on a system. We can do all these things on time, but getting up this goddamn hill is absolutely never certain. And I said to Ron, Ron, too bad you're late, but we just canceled it. But he went on anyway. Data media is here this year, too. Changes are changing. Data media is here. They have a 932. And their quarter-inch tape drive problems have been resolved. It not only stops and starts and does all these other things, but it plays music. I think, but I didn't know if that was a music or perhaps just a squeak. So we'll see how that works out. Talk about changes. General Automation arrived with a goddamn herd of zebras right in the middle of it. And believe me, evolution is well and alive. I know that from a very personal standpoint, on the basis that last night they asked me for money that I owe them. Yeah, exactly. There haven't been too many other real changes. CDI, Ultimate, and Ads continue to sell systems. And Mr. Pick loves that. Not the ultimate part, but the CDI. Ted Savarese, is flying his own jet into here. I think it's his second jet. And I just wonder if learning how to fly is part of the R&D money that you guys just got. Not to mention John Keogh's new Rolls Royce. But, here we go with our friend from the other side of the pond. Queen Elizabeth was here last month, And she had a very disastrous situation in Southern California and Northern California, and it rained and it rained and it rained. And I think she got back to England and said, Gordon Crine, you go to the American colonies and you buy data stream and you start thinking about doing other things and let it all leak on you too. And she said, you know, if you can, why don't you just repurchase the American colonies and stay there? Now, there are a couple of other changes that happened over the past 14 months. John Keogh doesn't drink anymore. And God, what a change that is.
Doesn't drink any less either.
Now, that's not nice. That's not nice. Because his friends at AA say he does not drink anymore. And probably the most momentous change that has happened in the past 14 months, and believe me, this is momentous. I, and a great many other people in this room, actually saw Dick Pick in a tuxedo last month, and he was not wearing sneakers. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. You were every bit as good as you were last year. Our next guest is Robin White from Ads. If you remember last year, Robin announced that Ads was going to scoop everybody by introducing the handheld pick system. Which he was going to use to penetrate the low-end market. I don't like to go over last year's material too much, but he also announced Ads' 2-for-1 CRT sale, which is where you bought two and you might get one that works. Now, Robin's done it again. This year he tells me that Ads has introduced